Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Attraction Faction. My name is Tyler.
My name's Katrina.
And this is the show all about theme parks, entertainment, and attractions. And what's on today's episode, Katrina?
Well, we're going to be looking at Disneyland during the 4th of July, and then we're going to take a little Raptor Encounter over at the Universal Studios Hollywood, and then we're going to finish off with some cool fun facts over at Pinocchio's Daring Journey at Disneyland.
That's right, and over there in Fantasyland. And this is the fireworks show, Disneyland Forever, over on 4th of July. And that's how they started it. They started it just with a regular presentation of Disneyland Forever. And then quickly, it went into...
the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air. No.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, quickly right after Disneyland Forever, they just went straight into just a bunch of red, white, and blue fireworks. And yeah, it was a pretty fun day overall. What would you say? What would you give people advice for on on tips, or what was the day like on July 4th?
Busy.
It was
no,
busy.
It was really, really busy. I think we kind of found our sanctuary over at Carthy Circle. Just had a
normal.
had a couple drinks, rode a couple rides over at Disney California Adventure. I think Disney California Adventure is less busy than Disneyland. I think everybody waits in line, kind of starts gathering around to watch the parades and waits for the fireworks.
Yeah.
So, and we waited for the fireworks for about 45 minutes, but I think everybody had been waiting since
The people behind
2.
us mentioned they were waiting for hours. They were there for a few hours. So, and they were behind us, mind you. So, you can show up a little bit.
You might find some generous people that might let you in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was definitely hard to find an area at the parade route. People were very, very protective of their parade route seats, but you can understand. People have been waiting for hours, so overall we had a really fun time. I would say if you really want to be guaranteed, I don't know what they're going to do next year, but for this year, if you really want to be guaranteed some fireworks, you should have gone with the World of Color Fast Pass, because that would guarantee you. But anyway. Yeah, it was a good day overall. We had fun. So,
yeah.
Next up,
the Raptor Encounter over at Universal Studios Hollywood. This is down by Jurassic Park, as you can see.
That's right.
And then you can wait to get your pictures taken, and then they'll come out, and then.
And it's kind of just a new photo opportunity with characters, and they have a handler come out, and as you can see, he's ushering people away. He's got a microphone. He's kind of telling people he's telling people some facts on the Raptors, be careful, and he's making a little joke about how he lost some guests earlier this day, which, he's given a little prayer for. But, yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's, the puppeteering on the Raptor is, really good, actually, and there's always sound effects, with it. Every time the Raptor opens its mouth, there's, sound effects and everything like that, so it's really cool. Yeah. And you should check out our video about it if you want to hear the sound and what the trainer is saying and whatnot. But yeah, it's a really cool experience.
Yeah, I loved it. The eyes move. You can see the Raptor blink. I thought that was really cool. I think if I was a little girl and I just watched Jurassic Park, I remember I was so scared of raptors, and if I saw this, I probably would have screamed and ran away. But it was really cool. Just the way it just kind of moves and it just interacts with people. If I was a little kid, I probably wouldn't even tell. It was, a person.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
a costume.
Yeah. It's actually.
It was really cool. It was really lifelike.
Even though I've seen you've seen those dinosaur costumes in the past or whatever.
You can see the body underneath.
Yeah, and you can see legs or whatever underneath usually. I feel like this is one of the best dinosaur costumes I've ever seen. And
really cool.
I think they you got to tip your hat to them for that. So it's just fun. I mean, people come up and as you can see they're all shaking their head no. They're like, I don't want. He's like, unleash the Raptor. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. But, it's so...
I'd be a little girl. I'd be like, no, don't do it!
Unleash him, keep the chains on him.
My gosh.
But let's be honest, if this was a real animal, those little chains wouldn't help very much anyway.
No. But it's really cool. There's a lot of people that wait in line for this stuff,
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, if you really want your picture with it, wait, the line isn't very long, so go ahead and do that. And if you're just kind of waiting around for a few minutes, they'll they come out about every 25 minutes or so, and you'll be able to see the Raptor Encounter for yourself. And like me, I didn't even wait in line, and I just got a lot of shots of it, and I kind of enjoyed that. I don't really, this guy gave a little pet.
Brave soul, this man.
Yeah, I know, brave
petted
soul.
A raptor on his nose.
He still has all 10 fingers, but, I didn't really need to wait in line, and I still got a good showing out of this. And yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. If you think about the lower lot at this point, they have a couple rides, but actually kind of some of their best character interactions are down here now with the Transformers and now the Raptor. So.
Okay, so we're going to head over to Disneyland, and we're going to take a ride through Pinocchio's Daring Journey. This area used to be home of Mickey Mouse Club Theater in 1955. And then around 1976, they just decided, you know what, let's just make Pinocchio Daring Journey ride. Then they didn't shut this ride, they didn't start this ride until 1981, and it finally finished around 1983 when this finally opened.
Right. And it starts out here in Stromboli's little puppet show, and you see kind of the backstage area where Pinocchio has been, and his friends are being tortured and whatever. If he's the only puppet that's alive, I don't really understand how the other ones are being tortured, but that's fine. And so, this really just goes through the whole entire story of Pinocchio, like kind of the Cliff Notes version. It's very quick, very fast. Like, if you haven't seen it, you might be kind of confused, but obviously he runs away from Stromboli's, realizes there's this great place called Pleasure Island, where it's not everything it's cooked up to be, because somehow all the little boys are turning into donkeys. So,
That's
yeah.
true.
So that's what goes on in this ride, and I actually think it's interesting that it's one of the few, I think it's the only ride I can think of where they actually say a sort of a curse word in it. They say jackasses. I just thought that was kind of funny. Oh my goodness, I know, right? Another interesting thing to note about this ride is that none of the original voice actors are actually in this ride. It's all new voice actors that were all just hired later. So yeah, it was very interesting. And another thing there, right there, we just saw Pinocchio's friend turn around. I can't remember his name, but that was the first usage of holograms in the entire Disneyland park. So the mirror that he's holding is actually just a hologram that. It's the first time they've ever seen it. So
that's right.
This is actually the very sad part.
This is a very, very sad part.
Yeah, with all of them crying for their mothers and whatnot. So it's really I would say kind of the dark rides in Fantasyland are a little bit scary.
Especially this part.
Yeah, here's Monstro. They gotta have the Monstro part, and
I remember when your cousin's kid came onto the ride, and he was so scared after the whale came.
Definitely.
But it took a very long time for them to actually make this ride, because the movie came out in 1940.
Yeah.
And it took like over 40 years for them to
Exactly.
create a ride. It's crazy, They're already starting a Frozen ride over in Epcot.
And as you can see there with the Blue Fairy, that was some Pepper's Ghost effect. That's the same exact effect they use in the Haunted Mansion. So if you're curious, they just put a window up, and the reflection, they put a light on whatever they want you see, and then the reflection will bounce off the window. You can see the reflection on the window, that is Pinocchio. So hopefully you learned a couple things about the ride, and we enjoyed looking these things up and educating ourselves. So that's going to be episode 14.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everybody, for watching the episode, and we really appreciate it. And if you liked what you saw, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, and you can like us on Facebook, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and also check us out on our website, attractionfaction.net.
That's right. And you can find a bunch of new food guides that Katrina has put together, and they'll link to some other episodes of Attraction Faction that you can then watch and learn a little bit about, maybe even some gluten-free. If you have a gluten-free allergy, it might help you out a little bit, because Katrina has a gluten-free allergy. So
that's right.
So, or a gluten allergy, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Sorry. So anyway, that's going to be episode 14, and thank you very much.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.